We live in a twilight world. Here we are. Here's some time-lapse footage from that new action camera I bought. Pretty good, huh? You know, I grew up, it was just me and my brother. And my brother turned where I lived into a fucking crack house. And he used to tell me when he tried crack, this is what it was like. Yeah? He said he'd hit the pipe, sit back, and he said the world would be like it was in fast forward, like this. Like in The Sims, when you click on fast forward, right? And he said you'd see the sunrise and sunset and you'd just be sat there in a chair. And he said it felt so good, it was too good, and that's why he stayed away from it. Anyway, I digress. Time-lapse footage, yeah, man. It was good. So, yeah, ever since I've got back from Paris, the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics, it's been nothing but beautiful sunshine here in the southwest of England. Yeah? About fucking time and all, right? Now, why is that? I got a feeling that all of the truthers have been diverted away from manifesting chemtrails and are now solely focused on all of the shenanigans going on at the Paris Olympics. You know, decoding the opening ceremony and all that kind of shit. Apparently a male boxer hit a female boxer, but that male boxer is actually a female boxer, and all that kind of double cross nonsense, just keeping people pecking like good old chickens on the Paris Olympics. Yeah? But here we are, like, as you can see in the footage, blue skies above me. Yeah? Clear blue skies. It's been a great couple of days. I'm looking nice and golden brown. Yeah, man, but as I was lying there on a rock, sunbathing, you know how you get these visions, right? You get omens the universe presents to you. Things that get you thinking. Yeah, omens, messages, stories, I don't know. You see them out in nature, yeah? You see it in the skies above. You know, sometimes you're looking at an ant on the floor and you get a message from it, right? Anyway, what I saw this time was over in the distance, above the nearest city. There was clouds above the city, yet there's blue skies above me. And yeah, I'm sure some person with a geography background will explain to you like why that is. You know, a city gives off more heat due to all the electric cables and you know, the pollution of vehicles and all that kind of geothermal energy. There's probably 2 or 3 degrees higher in a city than it is everywhere else, and this obviously draws in moisture and blah 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 blah. But what I got was, you know, I was looking at the clouds above the city, and I just saw steam. When I say steam, I'm talking about the steam as in human energy going upwards. I'm talking steam like in the Stephen King sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep, how it's visualized with the vampires sucking people's energy is via steam. I don't know if you've seen the film Dr. Sleep, but it's quite horrific, man. It's very nightmarish. These bunch of vampires, they basically going around hunting down gifted children that have the shine. You know, that's where the shining comes from, right? These are gifted children. And yeah, man, they basically hunt them down, capture them, and then they basically torture them slowly. And as the pain and fear and anxiety leaves their body, it's visualized in the form of steam. And these vampires are there sucking up this steam, and it's giving them life, yeah? Actually, that's a very good film. I think that's a more accurate kind of depiction of a vampire than the classic, say, vampire like Bram Stoker's blood-sucking, pointy teeth to the neck kind of thing, right? I think vampirism is more about energy. Yeah, sucking people's energy. Yeah? Creating chaos via emotion and outrage and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, man, I was just sitting there like, you know, in my paradise matrix, looking at the nightmare matrix over there in the city. And the city, what is a city? A city is like a concrete jungle, yeah? A rat run. Where people living in the rat race, as they say, yeah? You know, all these normies and truthers, they're in this city, in their fake job, in their materialistic life, every day worrying they're going to lose their fake job, worrying their girlfriend is going to find a guy with an even better paying fake job, worried about keeping up with the Joneses next door, all this kind of shit, man. What Robert Monroe coined loosh. Yeah? Loosh, good old loosh. This concept that there are beings that feed off the loosh. Yeah, the energy of humans. Specifically bad energy, right? They're not doing good things for you. But then again, if there are beings that feed off bad energy, it'd probably help for them to give you a bit of good and then slam you into a bad place to really ramp up that bad energy, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying all of this, that kind of... No, I'm not saying these beings exist, but let's just play around with the idea that they do exist. Anything's possible, right? But these beings would tie into the jinn. I often talk about the jinn. The jinn comes from the Middle Eastern world. The reason I use the jinn, because jinn means hidden, yeah? The hidden ones. Because jinn are the oldest ones. Like, we could use the term archons, reptilians, devils, demons, aliens. I stick with jinn because it's the original one, yeah? And there's a mystique around the jinn, right? And yeah, like I said, it comes from the Middle Eastern world. And these were kind of the first kind of beings ever written about, the jinn. The jinn predate the archons and all the rest. That's why I talk about the jinn. And of course, you know, jinn means hidden, the hidden ones. And yeah, man, they fit the bill as to who is manipulating this human experience and pushing it into, like I said, the nightmare version of it all. Via the power of illusion and, of course, the internet. The internet. Right now, if we were to say what was the biggest thing causing people problems and manipulating the perception of reality, it's the internet, or the jinternet, as I call it, yeah? And, you know, if you know about the jinn, you know that they can, they can hide in objects, right? So the whole undersea cable system, that is the internet, that's ideal for a jinn to get around, right? To zip around and do what they have to do and manipulate the masses. Now, just to be clear as well, when it comes to the jinn, the vast majority of jinn are fine. They haven't got a problem with humans. They got moved on to the next world. The story goes, or one of the many stories, is that this world we live in used to belong to the jinn. And the jinn were not too dissimilar from us. Yeah? They worked jobs. There was a hierarchy. There was poor jinn, rich jinn, king jinns. Jinns would fall in love. Jinns would get married. Jinns would have children. Jinns would live around 500 years or so, right? And this was their world. And their whole thing was building architecture. Yeah? In many ways, they were kind of terraforming the earth. And that explains a lot where all these kind of like really impressive buildings that are in our reality right now that we kind of look at and go, well, humans couldn't build that. Yeah, the jinn built that, right? That's what they used to do. They were all about building spectacular architecture. Jinns are different from humans and they don't have the ability to create. They're not like us. Like, we have an imagination. We like stories and emotions. They're not like that. So, just building stuff, that was up their alley, right? And then, of course, the gods said to the jinn, okay, you're going to go move on to the next world and we're going to give this world now to those that are made of mud and clay, yeah? Talking about us humans. Humans are mud and clay. The jinn are a smokeless fire of a scorching wind, aka plasma. And angels are made of pure light. So yeah, they gave this world over to us, the mud and clay beings, the beings of earth. Yeah? Now, a few rebel jinn were not too happy about this. And they, were not too happy about just getting shoved aside and moved on. They wanted to fight for this world. And that obviously fits into the story of the Christian story of the fallen angels, right? And that they stayed here and they decided to just create problems to push the humans out and just defy the gods. Another story is that the gods actually asked a small percentage of jinns to stay here and tasked them with testing the desires and weaknesses of man. And that's where you get the concept of a jinn appearing as a beautiful woman. A jinn helping you out getting a fast car. And all this kind of stuff. They're testing your desires and weaknesses. If you don't pass that test, you don't go on to the next level of existence. Yeah? Anyway, fascinating stuff to jinn, and probably worth talking about in deeper layers on other videos, but that's it for now. Other than that, some housekeeping. I've been having a great time in life ever since 2020. And man, the good times continue. And I know a lot of people don't like hearing this. I think ultimately it's about how you approach reality and taking control of that. And that whole cheesy thing that the New Agers talk about of manifesting reality, there's some truth to it, man. And you can flip the nightmare into a decent dream if you're prepared to make some changes and stuff, man. So yeah, man, I'm having a good time. Sun seems to be always shining on me. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that, and they're having an awful time right now. But I really do suggest that you put down the Black Mirror. Yes, the Black Mirror is a smartphone, is a TV, is the laptop. And get away from that and go out and just have some fun out in the nature, man. Mother Earth, the sun, the wind, the oceans, they give you all you need and ask for nothing in return. They're not trying to fuck with your emotions and that, yeah. These are the real gods out there. And yeah, man, take 6 months off the Black Mirror, and I guarantee you your life will improve. It's still very, very, even though it's nighttime, it's still, I'm recording this from my car, yeah? I'm overlaying this recording over this footage. It's still very, very humid and hard to record in my car, my studio. But I've definitely got some more videos to come out soon. Yeah, man, I went to Paris, the Olympics. This is going to sound crazy. I do believe they were planning to do something very big in regards to World Stage Theatre, a terrorist bomb or something. And I'll explain why in the videos when I put them out. But what can I say, man? They can't do it when a real one turns up. And I know people's eyes are probably rolling when they hear that. But I truly believe it, man. And that's how I spend my time now. I'm constantly testing out the matrix. I'm testing the fences, opening the gates, seeing what I can do when it comes to reality. And there's no better way than a World Stage Theatre event than to really mess with it. I mean, the biggest thing that I'll tell you right now, is how empty Paris is. And more kind of proof that we are living in a simulation here. There's hardly anyone around the streets of Paris. It's like a ghost town, other than where the Olympics are happening. So it's got the whole Grand Theft Auto, NPCs generating where they're supposed to be kind of vibe. Like I said, I'll make like maybe a long YouTube video or something, or put a thread on Twitter or something about my experience in Paris. But there was no big theatrical event. There was no illusion for me really to debunk. So it's not really an illusion warfare report. So it's more just going to be a travel vlog with a twist. I guess that's the best it can be. And still interesting intel, right? And it's still kind of letting people know that I'm still out and about, going to places, being proactive out in the real world. I'm not just one of these goofy kind of clowns that spends all day just behind a computer screen telling people how reality works and that. I'm out and about doing my own version, my own self-funded version of Op Gladio. The good Op Gladio, where we kind of shut down, the bad Op Gladio. But that was over a week ago now, and I just don't know, man. I was really reluctant to put out anything about the Paris Olympics because I I don't know. I'm just, it's you know, you hear me say this all the time, but it's just getting harder and harder and harder for me to spend time doing these videos and stuff. I know it's important stuff that people want to hear about and that, but the passion to do it, the need to do it is getting harder and harder. And I was having such a good time in Paris that actually getting footage together was the last thing on my mind. And you know, that's how it should be for everyone, man. You should be so busy enjoying this existence that getting a camera out should be the last thing you should be doing ever. And yeah, man, I had such a nice time. I had such a good time in Paris that, yeah, I was not on top of the whole recording this, recording that, recording all the stuff, you know. Like I said, I mainly went there thinking that something big was going to go down. And I knew that me going there meant that nothing would go down. You know, you've heard me say this in all my chats and podcasts, like leading up to it, you know. It was a decision for me, like, should I intervene, should I not? And yeah, man. Nobody cares about the bomb that didn't go off. We live in a twilight world. There are no friends at dusk.